Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer.
And this morning, we're going to talk about common sense SEO.
Can we talk about the title first?
All right. So this morning, before we actually start talking about common sense SEO, Jen wants to comment on the title. Jen.
We call this a little marketing with saltiness. It might be common sense to me that's been doing it for years. But I realize to Mr. Business Owner or marketer just getting started, it doesn't seem so common sense because SEO is overwhelming.
SEO is overwhelming, but I think there's kind of two pieces to it. I think there are some basics that everybody needs to understand. And then beyond that, you need to know what to ask your web team for. And I think we can touch on both of those things to kind of create that footing. But let's start, because this is your playground. SEO, where do I start?
Data.
Big surprise, Jen. Hey, everybody, Jen's talking about data this morning. Yes. Okay, well, what kind of data? Where should I start looking?
So, it's kind of hard to pick like what's first, but I just want to put it out there. Like with SEO, there's a long list of things that you need to look at, but what your competitor has versus what you have in the search engine results is what matters on who outranks who. So you could create this really long list and go through all of this stuff, but if you haven't looked at what your competitors are doing, that's a good place to start, but it kind of really, really close with keyword research.
I think where I always tell people to watch their competitors is because SEO is a horse race. And it's actually like, if you know that carnival game where you have the water gun and you shoot and your horse moves forward as long as you're shooting. But if you stop, the other horse passes you. That's SEO, people. It is of all of the marketing that you do. There is nothing that relies more on consistency and continued focus. And
Yep.
so looking at your keywords, looking at your competitors,
Yep.
and maybe being realistic about what you can and can't achieve is a good place to also start.
That's a very valid point. I also think of the skill sets involved, like, so all marketing starts with your website online anyways, maybe your social media profiles too. I'll throw that out there. And it's like when a web developer, a designer, and an SEO tech walk into a bar, what's going to happen? Like, they're all going to argue and they're all going to want different drinks, but in the end, we're all going to get drunk on SEO.
So, okay, if you're looking at your website and you're looking at the data, I think that a lot of people focus on the wrong thing. I think they obsess about where they rank for an individual keyword.
Oh my God. Stop the mic. Yes. Yes, please. If you didn't hear anything out of this, just that right there. Okay, continue on.
No. Because I know that I know we come at this from a different perspective, but at the end of the day, it's not about the keyword because people don't search. People are not doing the Boolean furnace plus repair anymore. They're typing in, why do my ducks smell funny when my furnace, when I turn my furnace on?
Even if they do, you don't just come out and rank for that keyword. This is not 2005, 2000. That's not how it works anymore. You have to do what Lorraine's talking about. I'm sure she's going to go into, but and then they get all wrapped up. Why in the world do Search Console reports, back to the data, show what you rank for, like, number wise, knowing that everybody's individual results are different? And it's just an accumulation of where all right, go ahead.
Okay, so in my mind, and this is where I think common sense comes in, the bottom line for me in my data is month over month over month. Is my organic traffic increasing?
Yep.
Am I growing the number of people who are stumbling across me on the internet?
I will look at a metric before that. I will look at impressions, because if my impressions are improving, that means I'm in the search results. I'm just not at a point where I can actually get to the clicks.
Okay. All right. Again, are are you even showing up at the party? And you know, the Hollywood, okay, I love metaphors. You know this about me. But the Hollywood starlet walks into the party and she's wearing a gold dress, and suddenly everybody's wearing gold dresses. And the funny thing is, the Hollywood starlet still looks best in the gold dress. Everybody else looks like a me too. You show up in a stunning red dress, and you know what? A few people are going to go, whoa, and pay attention to you.
Yeah.
And I really think that great SEO is about what you do really well that lets you stand out after you get that impression.
And there's so many things that line up with that, like your website structure, which sounds super technical, but it's really like the user experience and how people go through the website, and does this thing load fast enough, and then did you answer their questions? Like, they do go hand in hand.
Oh, absolutely. So I look at the data and I can see that my impressions are kind of flat. I can see that my organic traffic is flat. How do I get the three people in the bar to agree that we need to do something, and this is what we're going to do first? Where do I go first when the numbers are telling me I'm not getting any attention at the party?
Well, sometimes you just have to tell the numbers. The designer and the developer usually doesn't care about the numbers, but the SEO tech does. And so you just have to give the math that, okay, we're not getting anywhere, so we're going to have to change what we're doing. We have to go back to the table of keyword research and topic research to make sure that we have the right information on the website. Or like, what did my competitors have? Maybe I covered that subject, but I covered it poorly compared to what my competitors did.
I love that point because I know this is going to come as a surprise to a lot of our listeners, but people don't wake up in the morning thinking to themselves, you know what? I'm going to be second place in SEO, right? No,
Sorry.
nobody goes, it's okay. I'll step back.
That's a good point on it makes me think of, like, so there might be some things you're already ranking for, but you are gaining traction. So sometimes I see people, well, but I want to rank for all this other stuff too. Okay, but like, you need to focus in on that one because you got movement. Like,
Mhm.
if you think about, like, if you're trying to push 12 things forward, versus you're just pushing one, you're going to get that one like forward. So focus in on that. And sorry, I had to plug in my computer. That's why I disappeared.
That's okay. You know me. I can keep talking. But I think that's a really good point. That idea that instead of scatter shooting, if you find something that's a little bit kind of getting you some traction, stand on the shoulders of that. Um,
Hmm.
one of my very early SEO experiences, I had a blog post that I wrote. It was kind of a throwaway blog post on the org chart, marketing org chart. It got traffic. I mean, it got a lot of traffic. And so I went back and I broke it down and I wrote 4 more posts that I tied back to that original one. And then I went back later and did the digital marketing org chart. And that was 18, 19 years ago. And do you know those posts still get traffic?
Interesting, because there's so much excitement around pillar content, which I don't even think that's new, but um, cluster topics and like so the pillar is like what's the who, what, when, where, and then like all the blog posts that come off of it, which is are like the why and the different stages. Like so you might started with a blog post, but sometimes combining all those into one if it's not getting traffic. If it is, if it ain't broke, don't touch it.
Well, so if it's getting traffic, then as you write new posts and you create links back and forth, what you're doing is sharing that authority. You're
Yes.
literally telling the spiders, "Oh, you like this? Go here next."
Mm-hmm.
And that I think is where the common sense comes in. And it's yes, you've got to do all the technical stuff. You have to research and figure out what you should be talking about. You need to fix the technical aspects of your website, but then you got to have content.
Yeah, yeah. So I know we've done, a course where obviously this is in the course and we go through very specific common sense strategies to take place in this course. Random strangers to raving fans really takes people through the funnel process. And I think sometimes people get SEO combined or messed up with where it is at in the funnel. It can be at all parts.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely. And so, if you want to learn more about this topic, as well as all of the other related topics on moving people through that digital funnel to dollar bills, check out Random Strangers to Raving Fans. We'll have a link in the show notes, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care.
Bye.